Hi, I'm Laura Musica, Executive Director of Sidewalk Advocates for Life, the international sidewalk advocacy organization that teaches people like you and me how to peacefully and effectively offer loving, life-affirming alternatives to those entering the local abortion facility. On May 13th, 2017, a group called Operation Save America, or OSA, decided to stage a sit-in, blocking the doors to the abortion facility in Louisville, Kentucky, the last remaining abortion facility in the state of Kentucky. Now, they were asked repeatedly by police to leave. They maintained their disposition and subsequently were arrested and charged with third-degree trespass. This past week, they were also charged under the Federal Access to Clinic Entrances Act, otherwise known as the FACE Act, which is a federal felony. Now, this past Friday, ahead of OSA's return, a judge issued a temporary restraining order establishing a buffer zone in front of the facility. Now, while this only applies to OSA and its associates, the concern here is that this may have a great chilling effect on the free speech of other peaceful pro-life advocates who have pledged to be law-abiding from the beginning. Now, no doubt, when we think about the 60 million children who have lost their lives underneath the banner of so-called safe and legal choice since 1973 when Roe versus Wade was handed down, it grieves our hearts. I mean, this is the largest cause of death in the history of the world, and it brings in a lot of emotion when we think about that. But what we're concerned about is this approach. First off, this directly impacts our sidewalk advocacy ministry. We have sidewalk advocates in Louisville who've been with us almost since our inception. They have celebrated many victories out on the sidewalk, even going to the hospital to watch babies being born to these precious moms and celebrated these incredible milestones in their early life. They are heartbroken right now because even though the buffer zone may not apply to them, they have the work now of having to differentiate themselves out on the sidewalk or risk being arrested. Now, here's why Sidewalk Advocates for Life, again, with the vast majority of the pro-life movement, has chosen to be peaceful, prayerful, law-abiding, and even woman-oriented out on the sidewalk. First off, let's talk about being peaceful. You know, the definition of peaceful is tranquil, calm, and then non-violent. It's essential to have these characteristics out on the sidewalk because when a woman arrives at the abortion facility, she's already in a world of chaos and confusion. She might even be being pressured by a partner or a family member to have an abortion. We want to be as approachable as possible, be a person, not a protester, right? And really do things that will draw her into a conversation with us so that we can give her life-saving information about where she can go for help. Now, we are prayerful because with God all things are possible, and apart from Him we can do nothing. It's by His grace that we experience any miracle at all on the sidewalk. We're law-abiding because we want to have a chance to plant vital seeds with every eternal soul who comes across our path. If we do something that we know will likely get us arrested, then we may be hauled off the sidewalk in a matter of hours, and then we may miss clients who come right after or in the days to come, especially if we're tied up in needless litigation in the weeks and months to come. The Supreme Court has also noted that you can establish and uphold a buffer zone if there has been criminal activity at that site. And if there hasn't really been criminal activity at a particular site, then it significantly weakens the case, and it really bodes well in our favor that a buffer zone will not be established and upheld. And then we choose to be woman-oriented out on the sidewalk because if we don't reach her heart, then abortion doesn't end in that moment and a life isn't saved. And what we find sometimes is that pro-lifers take their anger to the sidewalk at the culture and the community. You know, we all agree, how could our country allow this egregious taking of innocent human life? We're with people on that. But at the same time, she's our audience. She's the one that we have to reach. She's the one making the decision. So we don't want to make any sudden moves. We want to do things, again, that draw her to ourselves. And then, by the grace of God, we may see mountains move. Don't just take this from me. This isn't just Lauren's opinion or Sidewalk Advocates for Life's opinion. Our friends at the Vitae Foundation did a $2.5 million 25-year research study, and they interviewed almost 1,000 abortion-minded women. And they asked them, what would best reach your heart in this situation? And they cited that these values are among some of the most important when we're trying to reach the heart of an abortion-minded woman. Now, here's the other thing. The evidence speaks for itself. As we have seen a huge upsurge in peaceful prayer at abortion abortion facilities and peaceful outreach at those facilities, we've also seen a plummeting abortion rate. In the past handful of years, they've been announcing record numbers of abortion facilities closing. I mean, it's amazing what is going on, and I just want to encourage people to stay the course, because obviously we're on the right track. And this disposition doesn't get a bunch of media attention. It's not sexy to go out to the sidewalk and help a mom and put in a new AC unit and get her a double stroller for her twins or whatever it may be, right? We do this not for glory or for the fanfare. We do it because it's working, and we are slowly chipping away at Roe versus Wade, one mother at a time. So here's my question for you. If you knew that there was research out there pointing you to the best approach for reaching abortion-minded women, and it was an approach that was above reproach, it was winning the hearts of the community and culture, at least as best we can, right? Why wouldn't we do it? Why wouldn't we take that approach? We want to do everything we can to be a person and not a protester out on the sidewalk, to garner more life-saving conversations and see more lives saved. Now, if you want a full explanation about why we've chosen these values, again, with the vast majority of the pro-life movement, we want to invite you to go to sidewalkadvocates.org/statement. Again, that's sidewalkadvocates.org/statement. And if you have a heart to reach the hearts of abortion-minded women effectively, to help save lives, to help transform hearts and end abortion, I invite you to check out our life-saving program at sidewalkadvocates.org.